Hello, welcome to episode 16 of the podcast.
Fuck yeah.
We're starting off strong. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast because I checked them and I don't. Like, I've listened to them and I don't remember anything that was said. I don't know what that means. I just think that's important to mention.
Sure. Good reminder.
It leaves my brain the moment I'm like, cool, okay, and I draft it, whatever, and then it leaves my brain. Like, it
just leaves.
It literally goes
Lets
away.
itself out.
I don't know how. It goes. I love this podcast. I do. I really do, and I love that you're able to do this with me. And I'm gonna say it right here and right now on the podcast. I'm currently watching the 2024 Game Awards. On the other, I want 21 Pilots to play. Okay, isn't episode 7 where I talk about Josh Dunn? I think it is. It's episode 7 or episode.
There's definitely an episode where you talk about Josh Dunn, and we also talk, more importantly, arguably,
Disney!
about
yes,
Debbie Ryan.
We do talk about. I love that, like, their shtick is that when he tries to go visit her on set, he's like, I'm this, like, Grammy-winning musician, this really incredible drummer, and he just looks, like, homeless. And every time he tries to, like, visit her on set, they're like, we don't, like, this man wants to see you, like, they're trying to kick him off set because they don't know who he is.
You know what? I love that. Absolutely. Any man that tries to visit you anywhere, just kick him out. Get out. No one invited you here.
I just love...
This is not a safe space for you.
I just love that he's just like, I'm going to visit my wife, on set, and
no.
They're just like, no. Oh my god,
no, you're not.
Like, they're just, like, really confused. Yeah,
Such
but
a slay,
I am
though,
currently watching the 2024 Game Awards so that 21 Pilots can play. I'm so excited. I don't even know where it is. Like, they said, like, I looked it up and they're like, you can buy tickets. This was like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, okay, where is it? And I swear to my life, I could not find where it was. I was like, is it a secret? Are they not telling you?
They're not going to tell you.
Like, isn't
you could be dressed like a homeless person. They don't want to let you in.
I just love that shtick because he's like, is it my wife on set? And they'll be like, no. And he's like, I'm Josh Dunn. And they're like, no.
Like, we don't care.
They're like, I don't know who you are, sir. Like,
I'm Kevin, and I'm telling you to get out.
Like, imagine, like, I'm going to visit my wife, and they're like, no. And then my favorite thing is, I think he tried to visit her on, like, when Debbie Ryan did Insatiable, and he was like, I'm here for, like, my wife or my girlfriend, and they were just like, oh, no. And they were like, I guess, like, the security was trying to escort him out, and she had to go pick up her man. She was like, no, he's with me, and they were like, oh, okay. Because, like...
Not
like,
getting him from the holding cell.
It was like, when you, like, lose your mom at Walmart, and...
Lost child in the grocery store vibes.
This is Josh Dunn. You need someone to go pick him up. You know what I mean? Like, they're just kind of like, like, he has to go be picked up by Debbie. I don't know. I think that's pretty funny. I love that.
That's fabulous.
I don't know who these people are. Like, I feel like I just what
officer. He's right over there.
This, like, colored hair, like, full sleeve tattoo man. They're like, ma'am, your son's here, and she's like, okay, all right, sure. Like, okay, that's him, yes, that's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah, no, he's with me, I know, I know.
Yeah, no, okay, so, we had some talk to talk about, but I will be chiming in on how, okay, let me just give you context. I was in my car, and I was driving, like, this is, like, an hour ago, and I was like, I have to go home. The Game Awards are on, and that means I have to go see my man. I had to go see them perform. I was like, because they did a song for Arcade. So they're performing that song, and I'm gonna just stop I'm just gonna stop the podcast. You're just gonna hear silence. You're just gonna hear me.
Just silence.
You're just gonna hear me fully enjoy it. Like, I don't know. They're talking about something. I don't know, but yeah. This is also off topic, but if you hear me smack my lips, I have this giant cut in, like, the upper inner part of my lip. And it hurts really bad. I don't know what it's from. I think it's a cold sore.
Sounds torturous.
From my week from hell last week, so maybe it's from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
interesting.
You had some work stories. Oh my god, the old guys from the Muppets! Sorry. Like,
I have no idea what that means.
You don't know what that means? Have you never seen the Muppets?
I didn't have TV. Like, which one?
The old guys.
Well, no. Which Muppets? There's more than one, right?
The old guys? I have no idea. Honestly,
that means nothing. Is it Miss Piggy? Because if it's not, I don't know why we would even talk about them.
Like,
like, dead ass.
I was always scared of the Muppets, like low key. I remember we had it on like VHS, and I like they scared me. I was scared. Kermit,
They
no.
scare me.
I don't like them. I don't understand why there's so much equity in the Muppets. Okay, I don't
Equity.
see.
Please.
They scare me. Thank you.
You know, it's
Go
right now
ahead.
it's that time of season. Do you get scared when that Christmas carol that the Muppets sing comes on, the figgy pudding one? Does
You
it
just
like
see me
do you
go,
have like PTSD flashbacks?
I
Your
just
childhood?
remember having like because I had a VHS player when I was growing up
Who
in my
didn't?
room. You know, because we're old. And I remember like when we had it on VHS, and that was like I would replay the first Lion King. I would replay like we had Lion King 1.5. Like I would replay. I had a lot of tapes on
That
VHS,
one's just
right?
about teen Simba, very specifically. His angsty teen years with Timon and Pumbaa.
And I thought Timon was a female, and my mom had to explain to me that.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
And my mom was like, "No, sweetie, he's a man." And I was like, "No,
No, sweetie." I mean, really, if you think about it, he's a meerkat.
when you think about it really hard, hear me
If
out.
you really like think about it like hard.
You know, do you? I mean, you think about it really deep. Sorry, I can't take this. I don't even know who's on here. Like, I don't know that much about like the game development stuff. But I don't know who any of these people are. Sorry, I keep like half of my screen is that, and half my screen is the podcast. So you had some stories that you wanted to mention.
Yes. So, hello class. Welcome. We all know, whether you've done them or not, we all know those online work trainings. We're all familiar with the idea of said trainings where they talk to you about like, oh, is it good to push your fellow coworkers down the stairs? Like, and you're like, oh, I mean, maybe. And they're like, no, it's not good. And you're like, wow, I learned so much today. So we all, what did they do? That's my question. Why am I pushing you down the stairs? Did you do something stupid? Do you deserve a nice fall down the stairs? Do you need to have sense knocked into you one step at a time?
Watch those like when. Oh my God, Harrison Ford! Sorry, he's here. Oh,
he's here.
This is like a U.S. thing. I feel like this is just maybe like I don't know. I maybe just a U.S. thing. The DARE program, and they would go to like to our school and explain to us like not do drugs.
Yeah,
like that kind of feels like that. I just that was my 2 cents. Continue.
Yes, I remember the DARE program though because like I already knew a lot about drugs. That sounds really bad. I was taught about drugs like in my home so that I would be aware. Like it was important that I knew stuff, so that I could be safe and make good choices. I want to be clear for the class.
No, you did cope. Like what?
But then the DARE program came in and it was so watered down and like basic and they wouldn't explain anything. So then all my friends came to me. And I remember they'd be like, so, like, what's the tea? And I basically sat them down and gave them a lecture about drugs and why they're bad, to be clear. But, yeah. Anyway. And the DARE people didn't like that. I had...
Okay, you know... Okay, so... Firefighters come during that week, and they would tell us, like, how cool their job is, and sometimes you get to go outside and see the fire truck. I always wanted to go and see the fire truck. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be my time. I want to sit in there. Like, that's so cool. And I never got to sit in it. I never got to sit in it once because I was a W. My last name is a W. And they would do an alphabetical order and they'd be like, oh, we don't have any more time. Gotta go back to class. No. You know when the first time I sat in a fire truck was? This year. I'm 20 years old. I was like, yes, and I fulfilled my dream. So suck it, all you kids that went before me. Huh?
I don't think I've ever sat in a fire truck.
Dude, it was like so good. I was like, yes.
I feel like I remember them coming to the school and like being like, who wants to sit in it? And I stood on the sidelines because I didn't.
I wanted to sit in it. But they were like, let's put you in alphabetical order. And I always hated that because I'm a W. And I was like, oh. And then I remember that all teachers always be like, no, I never got
Lies.
I never got my turn.
Don't,
Anyway.
don't lie to me, Professor.
Lie to me, you fool, Mrs. Mayo.
Huh?
Like, it was stupid. Anyway, continue. Work training.
Yes, work training. So we all know those work trainings. Well, recently I was going through one, and it was talking about morals and how it's not like morally acceptable to use fear mongering to convince people to like do the service or have the product or whatever. Like, and it's hard because that sounds bad in that, like, well, obviously you shouldn't just like scare people, but there's also some fields, I would say, where you tell them what can happen if they don't, or like the dangers. You have to inform them. Some professions, it's actually your responsibility, and it's a liability if you don't explain why said product is important to have and what the consequences could be of not having it. One example would be like, okay, heartworm prevention for animals. Like, you have to explain the risks of not being on it. And
Right.
You should always like offer it or whatever. And if you don't, that's actually like a liability on your part. Because it's like, nobody told me that my pet could get heartworms, which is hard because, like, I mean, I feel like that was implied. That was the prevention part. But okay. All right, but like nobody told me that my pet should be on that to not get heartworms, and then it's like your fault. So it's hard because some would say that that's fear mongering to like sell a product, but in some other sense, it's also like your job to give education. Anyway, all of that to say, I was talking about the importance of not fear mongering, and this yapper is like, and there's this very famous thought experiment, and I want you to tell me if you've ever heard of it because I haven't heard it personally, and I really like psychology. I took a psych course. I like look into different thought experiments and stuff because I find that really interesting because I'm a nerd. And so she's like, there's this really famous thought experiment about a city planner who plans this city, and there's this one intersection where everyone just keeps getting into accidents and there are injuries and deaths, and it's like horrible. And so he proposes an idea to stop the accidents from happening. But the idea is strapping babies to both the front and rear bumpers of everyone's cars. And then she continues and she's like, now that would undoubtedly solve the issue, but at what cost? And I have so many things to break down about this example. First of all, what psycho thought experiment is that? I've never heard of this in my life, and I looked it up. So I went to Google after this because I went, hold on, ma'am, please. So I went to the Googs, got on there, and looked up baby strapped to cars thought experiment. Nothing. Then like babies on the bumper. Like I had a lot of different searches, and I'm probably on a list now. A government watch list.
Were you not on a list before?
I probably was. If for no other reason, I like to write, and anyone who writes knows that your search history is disturbing. But it's for writing purposes. Anyway, so I'm on a different list now, the strapping babies to bumpers watch list, if that exists. And so I'm looking, and I'm like, what is this thought experiment? So I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if this was this like presenter lady's personal like psych thesis. If this was her, she's like, oh, I'm gonna slip in my work in here. No one will notice. Girl, we all noticed. That was the craziest example. But we can move on. We'll move on for now to then. That would undoubtedly solve the issue. Why? Like, let's play devil's advocate. If there were already injuries and deaths, why would a bunch of like sacrificial babies stop that? Like there is no promise that these bumper babies are saving you.
You know, it would sound like, oh, we need to starting this conversation with like, oh, I'm gonna ask you if you've had this too. No, I haven't. I've never had. Here's the thing, okay? I like you see all those things where it's like, oh, psychology majors or like this, and I agree. Like, I do think some of the stereotypes are true about psychology majors, but like, here's like they make it a personality trait, and all that stuff. But like, all I'm thinking is like, what if you're in class, and and they ask you, do you like, what do you say? Like, what? I don't. I mean, no, I've never thought about the strapping babies to bumpers.
How are you supposed to
ever.
stop accidents from happening in your city?
I guess, I don't know.
So she says like it would undoubtedly solve the problem. I don't think that's necessarily true because there could also be babies in the cars where the accidents are already happening. Like, how are you supposed to promise? But okay, it undoubtedly solves the problem, but at what cost? Okay, well, if it's undoubtedly solving the problem in her fake universe where babies get strapped to car bumpers, I don't think there's any cost. You just have your baby, you duct tape them to the bumper. No one ever gets in a car accident ever again. And then you unstrap your bumper, baby. And I do have a question though for her if she's listening. I have a quick cue. Are these like, is this your baby, or are these like babies specifically like for the bumper? Like, do you keep them in the garage because they're your like, don't hit my car human shield babies? Like, do you have like a drawer on your tool thing in your garage for said babies, or are they like your babies? I really need to know. Like, whose babies are they? Are they just like orphaned children?
Oh my god.
Like, that you picked up at the, I guess it wouldn't be the orphanage anymore, it's the Bumper Baby Mart. And what happens when they get older? Like, do you give them back? You're like, oh, is it like rotating your tires?
You know how you have to rotate your tires every 6 months? You have to rotate
you've got to rotate your babies. They get too big. It takes too much duct tape. It's not very economical at that point.
Well, then toddlers are too long. Like, so I know some long toddlers.
I guess you could have like a basket, and it's like infants.
Well, I mean, how else are you? Are you just strapping like this poor little naked baby? Like,
well, I was imagining duct tape. Maybe those like bungee cord things, with the hooks. You know the ones.
This is gonna get us on a watch list.
I've already on it. Did you not hear about my search history?
You're like, I'm gonna spread it to this podcast. No one's gonna listen to this podcast. I'm gonna put human shield babies on as a title.
Bumper babies. I feel like that's the brand name. Human shield babies is the like Walmart brand.
It's copyrighted.
Copyright TM Bumper babies.
LLC.
Anyway, I don't know. She just slipped this in with the work training. And then that's the craziest part. She just kept going. Like, she didn't just say one of the craziest things I'd ever heard in my life. She just kept going. Morals. The audacity to say this also. But remember, the context of this was don't scare people. And she's like, I mean, if you really think about it. I just bashed my tooth on the microphone. Ow. If you really think about it.
You're just so passionate about these bumper babies.
Yes. It's basically like child abuse. I don't... That's where she took that, where I'm like, oh, that's something that you said. Those words came out of your mouth, ma'am. Look at you.
That's something that you said.
You're so brave. And yeah, if I were her, first of all, I need her to confirm where the thought experiment came from, because she said, in this famous thought experiment, and then gave no names, cited 0 sources. So I'm pretty confident she made this shit up. Like, straight up just was like, you know what this is comparable to? No, Janet. No one is comparing it to that. No one's compared anything to that, ever. That's some of the craziest shit I've ever heard, Janet. And you're telling me not to instill fear in people?
It's always a Janet.
Fucking Janet, dude. Fucking Janet, man.
It's always always a Janet. That
Mm.
they're always like, oh, I'm gonna just say this wild stuff. Like, okay.
Just the craziest, absolutely most diabolical shit. Like, I can't. Truly.
So it wasn't, so what got you? Was it the bumper babies? Was it the, like, this is supposed to be, like, this is supposed to be about,
Not scaring people.
not scaring people.
I think it was just all of it together. To where I had to pause, like, stop it. And just assess life. Just pause the training and be like, hold on. First of all, this is about not scaring people. I'm terrified. Like, I am utterly disturbed. Where are you in the walls, Janet? Like, what is happening? Then we continue with the fact that this thought experiment is supposed to be famous, but it's been wiped from the internet, which I guess I kind of get. Disturbing as hell, so I understand why the internet wouldn't stand for such things in its vicinity. But then to continue, and it doesn't even make sense. Like, and that's where it gets weird for me, is like the logic where I'm like, okay, so it undoubtedly solves the issue, but at what cost? No cost. If it's undoubtedly solving the issues, all the babies are fine, Janet. They're fine. Get over it. They'll be fine. They're just getting some fresh air. If they're infants, they won't even, like, remember. It's fine.
They won't even, like, remember.
So, if it undoubtedly solves the issue, you know what? I don't see how there's a cost. Now, I'm not convinced it would undoubtedly solve the issue. I don't know what's to stop somebody from... I feel like people would, like, aim for each other's babies. They'd want to do, like, a bumper baby high five.
Oh my god. We're gonna get banned. We're done. Like, here's the thing. Is, like, do you think, like, what if you have a Karen? What if you have a Karen at Walmart and you, like, stole her spot, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill your baby.
What if they, like, kidnap them? They, like, take the... You can't have a rear... You've lost your back bumper baby privileges, and they, like, take your baby. Put it in their baby basket with the other baby.
Well, is it a garage baby? Or is it...
Is it their baby? And that's the thing. That poses the original question that I asked earlier. Is this, like, your child, or do you, like, rotate them like tires? Like, is it more of an minor inconvenience where you have to go back to the baby store? Or is it like traumatizing because it's like, oh no, my baby? Wait, does that mean everyone has to have 2 kids? Like, by force? Like, one for each bumper? And it has to be a baby at all times. So wait, what? I'm so lost. This thought experiment's confusing.
Oh, that's what lost it for you?
That's where the logic's really leaving the scenario, because do you just have to keep having babies? Because also, is 9 months, are we still calling that a baby? Because let's say you just get pregnant and then bam, have the baby, and then you have to get pregnant immediately after, which that's not, like, biology. But okay, and you just have to keep doing that forever. First of all, no. Second of all, is 9 months still, like, a baby? Like, this baby's now, that baby's gonna remember. It's gonna be, like, traumatized now. And what are the moral implications of that, Janet? Were you even thinking, Janet? Were you even thinking about these babies and the trauma? Shame. So yeah, anywho, I think we've all had those work trainings. What?
Yeah, we've all had... yes.
We've all been there, you guys.
Yeah, I've totally... What do you mean? Of course I've been there. Like, hello? Like, I'm sad. Like...
We've all had to do it. We've all had to think about bumper babies in our work trainings. We've all been there.
All had to think about bumper babies. I mean, you know, it's like one of, this podcast always opened my eyes to things that, like, I never think about a whole lot, and then I bring them up here, and then we somehow are able to talk about it for, like, an hour.
Yeah, we can really get into the logistics of Janet's proposal.
Janets are the worst. I don't know a good Janet. That's such a hot take if someone who, like, is our follower who's like, that's my name.
I don't know that I've ever met a Janet in real life that I can think of, but I think of Janet from The Good Place. Love her.
Oh, I forgot that's her name.
But yeah, I can't. Are Janets real?
Is there a nice Janet?
I've never met, like, I'm trying to think, like, hey, Janet. I don't know that I've ever said that before, ever.
You've never said, like, hey, Janet,
I don't think I know a Janet.
I mean, I do know, I don't know a Janet.
That's what I'm saying. Are they real?
Are they real? They're not real. Actually, joke's on you. They're myths.
The mythical Janet.
The mythical. It's like, yes, the mythical. They're not real. Yeah. Wow. It's gone.
Speechless.
I can't stop thinking about these bumper babies.
This famous thought experiment. It's famous now.
Wait,
it's famous in my eyes.
It will always be famous for
me. It
you.
will always be famous for me because every once in a while I'll just be trying to I'm going to be trying to go to sleep and my brain's going to be like, hey, remember there's someone out there that wants to strap babies to bumpers in order to stop car accidents.
Here's the thing though, let's put that logic somewhere. Let's put that logic somewhere else. Wow, I don't even know a way to put that logic somewhere.
Yeah,
else.
let's. What else are we strapping babies to? And why?
You want to stop car accidents. So it's okay, let's put something really valuable that you're oh, I can't hit. That's a child. Okay, let's put that to people hit people, cars hit people and there's not baby strapped to them.
That's what I was saying. Exactly. That's why I'm she's that would undoubtedly solve the issue. I don't think it would. There could be babies in the cars they're hitting. I keep seeing videos of people getting hit by cars, kids. And actually, I remember in elementary school one time, I went to class and somebody had this big scab all over their thigh. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And they started laughing. They're like, oh, it's nothing. And I was like, it doesn't look like nothing. And she was like, oh, it's so embarrassing. I was hit by a car this morning. And then I stopped and stared. This is 5th grade, by the way. And I stared at her and I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. It's so lame. I was walking to school and then I was walking around the bend and the car just hit me and I went and it was road rash on her leg. And she was like, and I scraped my leg on the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And she was like, well, no, I got up and went to school. And I just stared at her and I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, you can't, don't tell my parents. What? What? About the hit and run? My flabbers were gasted. I couldn't believe it. And I keep seeing videos on Nextdoor where people just keep hitting kids on their way to school because everyone has a Ring camera now. This was back when my friend got crimed. They weren't just Ring cameraing. But I keep seeing videos of kids and they're walking and then they bop, bop, and they go flying and the cars just drive away.
Wait, okay. So okay, do you remember when we were in elementary school? I feel like we've said this before that we went to the same elementary school together.
Yeah.
And I have this core memory. So my brother went to the high school next to our elementary school. And so for 2 years we carpooled because we went to school at the same time. We got picked up at different times, but we went to the school at the same time.
Mm.
And I remember my stepdad picked up my brother first, and then he picked me up because I think my brother was done or something, whatever. So I was really confused because I was like, "Why are you picking me up?" Because it was earlier in the day. I think we got picked up let's just say 4, and they picked us up at 1, and I was like, "Why?" I was confused. I was like, "I have to go do work," and I just think that's really funny that my I don't know. I was probably 9, and I was like, "No, I wasn't done with my work," and it's no, I'm picking you up now. No, but like,
I'm not done.
I'm not done. And I just would like to know that just for the class, that attitude I still have. Like, it's still there. I'm like, no, I'm not done. They're like, ma'am, it's been 12 hours. No, I'm not done.
Wait, I'm not done yet. Ma'am, you need to go.
Ma'am, you need to leave. Yeah, and I remember because they picked us up early because like kids were like walking to the parking lot and a car like hit them.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
No.
No, you don't remember that? Yeah, they like had to pick us up early, and I remember I asked my stepdad. He was like, "Let's go get Sonic," and I was like, "Okay." And I remember,
because all the cops. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
wait.
all the cops, because they and I didn't like know who it was personally, but then I remember they added like 8 crossing guards. Like,
yeah,
they're really big on
we
it.
had like 4 crossing guards, one for each part of the intersection after that, and it made the line so much longer. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it made the line so much worse because they like hit kids. I mean, I don't think any. I mean,
child hitters.
I'm like, see, if we're going back to that baby bumper, that obviously didn't work because
that's not going to stop people.
They fully hit functioning kids. So like, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm like, well, obviously your thought experiment didn't work.
Yeah, people just like hit kids and like drive away really fast.
No, because
then the kids go, "Oh, don't tell my mom." Bro, what?
I just want to know, like, did they get to go home early and go to Sonic? Like, I don't
think they got
hit. Died. It was like it was kids. It was plural, like multiple kids.
It was like a group of them.
And all I'm thinking is, I was like, collateral? Like, did they all like form into one? Like, how did it work? Like, who did? Like, what? I don't know. I was like, I remember thinking, like, yeah, I didn't know. I don't think I knew about it until like a day after. Or I was like asking, I was like, oh, why are all these cops here? And my stepdad was like, how do I explain this?
No, I think I do remember that. I don't think I got picked up early. But I was told about it when I got home. But I think I figured it out in the after school program first because we were all like, oh my gosh, the cops. What'd you do?
Yeah, because it was at the end, or was it at the end of the school day? I think it was at the end of the school day. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, there's like 8 cop cars here at an elementary school. That's not good. What? Yeah.
Well, and I know there were a few things. There was one time where we went on like lockdown because somebody had a gun, but not at our school. Was it one of the
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Then there was one time somebody had like robbed a bank that was like in our vicinity. Yeah. That was weird. We were on lockdown and I was like, why? And they were like, because of the bank.
Do you remember? Okay, I don't know if this is like, am I going to get canceled if I say that's always a good sign? Am I going to get canceled? So I was in the special ed program when I was a kid. And I remember we, like, a kid escaped.
Oh no, jailbreak. We've got a runner!
And most of these people that I was with in, like, elementary school, like, because I went to the same elementary school, I was very fortunate, I mean, however you look at it, but I went to the same elementary school my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh my god, is someone performing? Oh my god. Oh my god, the choir. Sorry, I put the Game Awards. I don't know if you could hear it. There's a choir at the Game Awards. Anyway, it's not 21 Pilots. So I remember, like, because I had the same special ed teachers. So, and they were just, like, dependent on, like, your age and stuff. But there was, like, 4 of them. And I saw them, so I kind of knew who they were. And all my classmates were basically, like, it was, like, me and probably the same, like, 6 other people, like, throughout this whole time. Like, there was a few, like, some people left, or some people graduated, or whatever. So, like, some people, you know, like, intertwined. But normally it was, like, the same core group of people, like, same core teachers. And I remember I was, like, in a classroom, and I was with these, like, 2 teachers, and one of them was like, I gotta go, and then the other teacher was just like, I'm gonna go get someone to cover for me. And then this, like, other teacher, so they, like, left in a hurry. And then this other teacher, like, the teacher for PACE, she, like, had to cover us. And PACE, if you don't know what PACE is, it was for the really, really smart kids.
The gifted kids. They got to read longer chapter books.
This is like a special ed classroom. So the PACE teacher, in the nicest way possible, she didn't look like she liked us. She was like, oh, I have to be in here? Aww. And, like, we didn't know at the time. And then I remember
what chapter books are you guys reading?
Dora, she was like, we're on Harry Potter. And I was like, what? I'm just like, oh my god.
I remember they read that Everest book.
Oh, they did read.
I got that book. And then when I read it, this is going to sound really weird, but I remember because I think one of the little PACE kids was like, you wouldn't get it.
Oh!
And here's the thing. They didn't know, and this is going to sound like really bitchy, but I feel like I have to share with the class. I had been offered a slot in PACE and said no, because you could say no. Because my mom asked me, and she was like, you're going to have to work harder. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
I remember, like, my parents just thought it was stupid. They're like, it's elementary school.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Yeah, my mom was like, have fun in elementary school. And she was like, once you get to middle school, if you take, like, honors classes, basically, is what PACE was pretending to be, you can, like, get ahead and take high school classes, which is what I ended up doing. But for elementary school, you didn't get anything out of it other than having to do extra work. So we talked about it because they were like, you should really join PACE, and like brought me. I got called down to the office a lot for not getting in trouble. There was a lot of called down for the counselor, which is what I thought this one was. And then they were like, you have the opportunity to be a part of this program. Your mom just has to sign this. And we talked about it, and I told her I don't want to do that. But anyway, this kid came up to me and they were like, you wouldn't get it. You're not in PACE. And I just stared at them because especially like reading, that was like my thing where I was just like, oh, really? So I went to the library book and I got their little Everest book, and I finished it before them and spoiled it for them. And is that petty? Yes. Am I petty? Yeah, because I spoiled it, but I didn't. I don't remember what I said. I said something that was basically a reference to how it ended, but like obscure. And they were like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "You wouldn't get it." And they didn't get it at the time. They were really confused, and then they finished the book and they came back and yelled at me. I was like, "Well, sorry about you. I didn't mean to ruin your little book club." Except that I did, because I was petty. And how dare you? Fuck off. What the fuck off? You elementary school gifted kid. Anyway, so the PACE teacher didn't like you.
Yeah, she did. Well, it wasn't just me. It's like me and
yeah,
probably
the
like
class. Y'all weren't reading that Everest book. Y'all were reading fun books, and that was unacceptable for children.
She was like, so they taught us cursive first because they just like, I don't know, they just wanted us to learn. Like
You know cursive?
I do know cursive. Yeah, they taught us in the special ed program.
We went to the same school. We had to learn cursive, and they stopped halfway through the alphabet.
Yeah, I kept going until like middle school. Like I left until I
what?
I left the program. I like quote unquote like they were like, oh, you're good. Like
you're not special anymore.
Like, oh my god, you're good. Because so you take tests every year, and you take the test to kind of see where you're at. And they depend on like your level and your academic stuff and your all that stuff. Yeah. And I just remember that like this PACE teacher was just really, really like bitter that I guess she had to do this. And maybe it's just because they were doing a lot, but yeah, they were like chasing because a kid, tried to escape. And I think they got him. They got him.
They got him, guys.
Like my teachers come back like 30 minutes later, and the PACE teacher kind of leaves, and she just like swiftly leaves because you can't leave because I don't know, we're probably like 8, 7, and there's like 4 or 5 of us, so you can't just leave 5 8-year-olds in a room, Yeah. So then she like kind of left, and then our teacher came back, and I remember she was like, she wasn't like sweaty, but you could tell she was like outside.
She'd run.
It's Texas, yeah, so it's like hot.
Yeah.
And she was just like, okay, so where were we? We should be like, okay, so we were at chapter 4, because we read this like whatever textbook, right? So yeah. So it was pretty funny. Well, do you have any final thoughts for this?
Yes. So you said you learned cursive, which fuck that, because we were learning it, and then I didn't want to learn it. I was really bitchy about it at the time, I remember, but then we stopped halfway through the alphabet because we didn't have to learn it anymore. But did you learn the national anthem
in cursive?
Not in cursive. No, how to sing the national anthem, because I know it now, but did you learn it in elementary school? I need to know.
Yes.
Okay, so my fifth grade class, when we were learning it.
Oh my god! You told me this. Our teacher, and then she left. She quit. She quit
because of my class, apparently. Which I'm not taking the heat for that. I was a cooperative little child. We just had some bad seeds. No, I wasn't super cooperative. I was cooperative enough, not enough to make the teacher quit, but she told us that we were a disgrace to America and refused to teach us the rest of the national anthem. Like, which for me, I was like, oh no, We can't sing it at our 5th grade graduation. How are we going to get through this tragedy? Oh my gosh. So I'm starting to see maybe I was one of the reasons she quit. But no, she left. And then I remember because she turned it, she was like, it's y'all's fault. This was in the middle of our music class, by the way. It's y'all's fault. And I'm going to tell your teacher that it's your fault. And we just kind of stared at her, and then she stormed out. And then specials, because that's what music class was, a special class, ended, and we went back to class, and we had to get, like, sat down. We were held from lunch for, like, 15 minutes to hear about how, like, we made a teacher quit, and that's unacceptable, and blah, 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 blah. And my thing, we weren't even that bad. Like, I'm sorry. There was some snickering, because we were, like, talking, but we were children. We were, like, 11. Please be serious. Be serious. Anyway.
Just know your audience.
Yeah, no, I learned the national anthem later for middle school choir, but elementary school, I got all the way to the end mostly, but the last little bit, she decided that we were a disgrace to America and didn't deserve the opportunity to learn the national anthem. So you got to learn cursive and the national anthem.
Yeah,
in
I
full.
did.
I got to learn half of cursive and like 3/4 of the national anthem.
By the way, we went to the same school.
We went to the same school.
I love that. So, well, I think this concludes episode 16. Know your
Indeed.
cursive. Please don't put babies on bumpers. And maybe pay a little bit more attention. Actually, don't pay attention. Work, any training I've done for work is beneficial, okay? I say that like I'm not CPR qualified. Okay, that's important.
That's important.
The stupid ones that they're like, you gotta
don't push your coworkers down the stairs. Don't listen to them.
Don't put babies
You know what
on bumpers.
Debbie did.
You know what Janet did.